of expectations, just like those stones. They can, in a way, you don't come with any expectations because you don't know how heavy they are. The shape is always different, and so you don't come in with any prejudice about whether or not something's possible or not. But when you go into a fitness journey, you often come in with these preconceptions about what you think you can achieve and what you hope for yourself. And I just wanted to dig down into that and see where, when Peter started, to see what he hoped for himself, what he expected he'd be able to achieve in the first couple of months to a year, and exactly, looking back, whether or not he's surpassed it or if he's gone a different route. And obviously I'll give some thoughts on my own journey as well. So Peter, I mean, when you first started, what did you expect from yourself?
Well, when I first started, I was like 25, I think. When I thought, right, because basically I'd finished university, got a job, moved down south with the job after the company I was working for got taken over, and then so yeah, I got like the same as last week or the week before when I said about we're talking about Red Dwarf, Rimmer.
Yeah.
I got to 24, 25, and my muscles gave up and waved a little white flag, and then suddenly I was, but I mean, basically I was the job I was doing, I've said before, was I was a trader for an energy firm, and it was basically like being at university but with money. So I was very unhealthy. So I started running, and basically the expectation was I didn't want to lift weights because I thought it was boring and all of that, all the usual sort of stuff. I don't want to join a gym. I don't want to lift weights. I'll just go running because it's free and you can, and I'll get fitter, and then problem solved, and I'll lose loads of weight because I probably wanted to lose about 3 stone at the time. I think I was like 13 stone or something like that. And what am I now? 72 kilos. What's that? 11 and a half, 12, 11 and a half. Anyway, I'm 72 kilos, whatever that is in stones now. So actually I wanted to lose weight to get to about 10 stone, which is way too light for me. So that was my expectation when I started. And over the years, I was doing running for, I don't know, for a lot of years anyway. And I hated it, every single minute of it. And I just didn't like it. It wasn't my thing.
Why is that?
Well, because it hurt. I was like, the more I did, the more I had to do, because you have to run for longer.
It does. That's one of the things you've got to kind of, in a way, like it, because ultimately, if you want to get good at running, some of the kind of adaptive quality is just time on the feet, and you just got to keep going for longer. It's not the only way, but it typically that's the way it ends up going.
Yeah, absolutely. So I ended up doing like half marathons and what have you, like started doing 10Ks and then half marathons, and I just didn't enjoy it. I was just like, I'll have to have something to, like, I have to put in for a half marathon because then I have to train for it. Otherwise I wouldn't have bothered. But then I stopped putting in for half marathons because I just didn't enjoy it. And then eventually, I don't know how I got into lifting weights. I suppose, basically over that time, it was lots and lots of cardio. I was doing loads of cardio, lots of like trying to do anything I was doing with weights. I was trying to do like HIIT training, HIIT style stuff, and just bouncing around in the gym. Because we had a gym at work, which was free for us to use. So I was just doing that. And then when I got made redundant in 2013, that was when I decided to do a PT course. And then when I did the PT course, that was when I kind of started to realize there was this whole other world of stuff, and like learning about programming and how to lift properly and biomechanics.
It was the PT course that opened your eyes to that, was it?
It started to. Yeah, I started to realize there was all these different modalities of training that were interesting. So it was like, right, let's start looking into them.
Yeah, but so when you started though, what were you hoping for your body? What did you think was going to change?
In the beginning, it was still weight loss. So what I wanted to do was get lean, I think.
What did lean mean to you at that point?
Muscle definition.
Was it body beautiful, or was it just light?
No, it was muscle definition.
Muscle definition.
which I achieved, but I was just skinny. Basically,
Right.
I got down to 9.5 stone, and
Okay.
and I was like,
Wow.
and I was like, look at that, brilliant! I've done everything I want, and I was like, look at me, aren't I dead happy? And my wife at the time was really worried about me because I was too skinny. But I think that was because, like, I'd been made redundant, and I'd just learned how to get fit, and I had all the time in the world. I'd had a payout, so I didn't need to get a job immediately. So I was like experimenting with stuff. So I thought, all right, I'll go all in on losing weight. So I did, and I lost, I lost too much. So I was, what's that? I was like 2 stone lighter than I am now, which is
2 stone. Okay.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I'm 91 now, and
Yeah.
I went down to initially when I first went through my weight loss back in the early 2010s. I went down to 72. When we first met,
That's what I am now.
74. I was 74.
Wow.
When we first met, and now I'm 91. So I was, like you, when you do that initial cut, you just, with no muscle mass, just bang straight down.
Yeah. So that was the focus was on weight loss of fat. Well, it's actually fat loss, isn't it? But the focus was on weight loss, is what I thought it was at the time. Which is why, like, when I talk to people now, I don't even really think about that, because it's part of it, but it's not the main focus in my eyes. I don't think that's a healthy way of looking at it, even though it's a healthy thing to do.
I suppose that comes with experience, really.
Yeah.
I suppose one of the things that people experience is that they're not quite sure what the right questions to ask are. And so the questions you get are typically, how much does it cost? How much weight am I going to lose? I don't want to be bulky, I want to be toned. And those are kind of the areas that most people talk about, because they don't really have a more specific language for it. And I mean, it sounds like you didn't either. You were like, I just need to lose weight. I need to be healthy. I'll go and run a marathon because that's healthy, or I'll go and run a health marathon and I need to be lighter. And so it's almost like your language was much more limited,
Well, it was, because I didn't have a clue what I was talking about. So
do you now?
Well, I have more of a clue, but still not. We know that, right? The more you know, the more you need to know, and all of that. It's the more you learn, the more it opens up. But this is what's great though, because now, like, just racing ahead on that, because, like, obviously I got into into strength and stuff like that. So actually, what you were just saying there, when I first met you, 2015, that was, you said you were like 72 kilos.
74, I think I was 74 day, because I had to weigh in on the day. Yeah.
The year before that, 2014. November 2014, when I first did my Strong First, the SFG 1, I was 63 kilos, which is nothing. And I had to do everything with 224s. So
you're 72 now, and you went down to 63, so 9 kilos lighter. And that was when you did the SFG 1, you say?
Yeah. Which was, everything had to be with double 24 bells at the time as well. So it was pretty...
even at your weight?
Yeah. If you were above 60 kilos, it was 224s. It's changed now. Wow. I think it's 68 kilos or something like that.
So that's like, it's like 3/4 body weight.
Yeah. It was bloody hard. Yeah, and snatching
that's like me doing 64 kilos or something,
Yeah, it was bonkers. It was bonkers. But anyway,
and you passed it though.
Fast forward, I did. I put a hell of a lot of I put a hell of a lot of training, and I only decided to do it in the August. So I just fast tracked everything, which was the wrong way to do it, because I ended up with clunky shoulders, and I was just knackered.
Well, you have that time. It's like a race line, isn't it? It's like when you're training for a marathon. Sometimes you got the eye on the prize, and once you'll put your body through hell in order to do it, won't you?
Yeah, exactly. And it was just a big achievement at the time. I had basically, I just wanted to prove stuff to myself and all that. And ironically now, I could just go and do it tomorrow.
But what did you prove to yourself?
I don't know. This is the thing, because I didn't have anything to prove, but I felt like
Why did you feel you needed to?
Because I'd been made redundant, and my relationship wasn't very good at the time, and all of that. So it's I just wanted.
So you needed an external focus,
something to hang on to.
Yeah.
That was just for me. That I could just I could just be proud of. you know.
Yeah. And were you?
Yeah, I was at the time, and I suppose I still am. What I'm not necessarily proud of. What I'm happy with is what it's given me further down the line. So it just changed my whole outlook on things, and kind of like, right, I need to focus. I don't need to focus on actually the weight. I just need to focus on what progress looks like and what the process looks like and how to make it as simple as possible.